Magic's spoiler stream for Defenders of Equestria on Sunday, April 23rd, 2017. I am, as always, Grandpa's.
I am Emperor Bugle.
Big Cheese.
And the unusually angry for the time Aracat.
Who has managed to recover fully from BabsCon so far?
This is a dirty lie.
Almost.
We can recover?
No.
I'm almost done being sick.
No. There is no such thing.
It was a good time, though.
Indeed.
It was a good time. Met a lot of people, played a lot of cards.
There were some cards involved.
There were some cards involved, yes.
And what else have we seen over the last couple of weeks since we last had the opportunity to do a spoiler stream? Quite a few new cards being spoiled as well.
I thought you were talking about the 2 new episodes.
There were episodes too.
You mean the 3 new episodes?
3 new episodes. Yeah.
And
I
what
still
else
have not
we seen over
actually
the
seen
last couple
yesterday's episode.
of weeks
Oh,
since
well.
we last had
There,
corresponding spoiler
allow us to
stream.
spoil
Quite a
it
few
for
new
you.
cards
There
being
are
spoiled
ponies.
as well.
Oops. Sorry about that stream. That's what I get for looking at the preview with audio turned on.
So, we had the opportunity to spoil a few cards ourselves, and several other community members have been coming forward in recent days to reveal their own exclusive spoilers for Defenders of Equestria. First off, big thanks to Enterplay and Rob for allowing the community to do this. This is a fun opportunity for people to get involved.
Best Princess?
Best Princess.
Best troll. Celestia's been dethroned.
Ooh.
Them's fighting words.
Them is fighting words.
I back you up on it, though.
I don't know. You saw the premiere.
Oh, that's true. She did troll pretty hard in the premiere. Anyway, since we have quite a few cards to go through, I thought it may be best that we dive into those sooner rather than later. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we've got 10.
That's a few.
10. Usually we do what, 3 or 4?
Yeah, something
Minimum
like that.
3?
Minimum 3. That's the rule.
Well,
Yeah.
3 times the minimum is fine.
And it's pi times the minimum. We've been over this.
Pie.
You can never have a minimum amount of pie.
Well, with that, let's see what we've got from the last few weeks that's been revealed for Defenders of Equestria. The cards are continuing to come out, and I still like what I'm seeing. I don't know about you guys.
Well, you've seen them before.
Yeah, we have seen them before. Before
Oh,
we
no,
dive...
him!
Oh, yeah, okay, fine, that's true. Cheating.
Yes.
Yeah, but now I get to see them with the pretty art and the corrected flavor text and most things in position where they need to be.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's go in.
All right, before we dive right into this, let's briefly recap what we mean by when we're dealing with card ratings.
Good idea.
Okay, so...
Yeah, and also keep in mind these are just our opinions. Your opinion may be different, and that's perfectly fine.
Send us a mail about it, in fact, because we'd love to hear from you.
That's exactly right. Commentariousmagicteam@gmail.com.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So we'll just go down this real quickly here. So this is on a scale of 1 to 5, and then, of course,
0
there's
to 5.
the 0. Now, the 0 is special.
Fair enough. The 0 is special.
All right, so 5s are meta-defining cards that they make a deck, they have significant effects on the format. We're talking Zippo, Thunderlane, most of the banned stuff. 4 brings power to multiple high-level stuff. This is like your auto-include tier. So here we have RTO, Factory Jack, stuff like that. 3 is good cards, although they're not always appropriate to run. However, when these show up in limited, they will swing the match your way because they're just that good, even in that environment. 2 is unlikely to see constructed play because there's usually something better. This is what limited decks are mostly made out of. They're the cards that it's like, that'll work. There are better things, but it'll work. Then there's 1 where stuff that doesn't normally see constructed play doesn't get picked real early in draft. It's a body because you need a friend. It's a high flip because it's a 5. Why not? And then, of course, we have 0, which is stuff that just does not belong in decks ever because it's actively harmful. And I'd rather have my opponent use it because it's generally beneficial to me. Spike Baby Dragon.
Sweet Apple Acres. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we will put a 0.5 on there. That's kind of like, and a B plus if we say 4.5 kind of thing.
That's still an unacceptable grade to Twilight.
Well, yeah, but yeah, the 0.5 is just kind of like saying this is this tier, but a little bit more so. And it's kind of super subjective. There's not too much difference between a 3 and a 3.5, but take it as you will.
Indeed, that is largely a subjective thing. Anyway, with that, let's talk about our first spoiler, Mr. Stripes Pushy Pony.
Not a raccoon.
Not a raccoon.
Is a raccoon, not to be confused with the raccoon of the same name.
Fair enough. This Mr. Stripes is not a raccoon.
Even though they have the same mailing address.
Blah.
Anyway.
So tell us what we're looking at here.
So there's a lot of stuff going on here. First off, we've got some numbers. 4 cost, 3 and 3 rec in orange and purple, and 5 power, so very efficient, but also very expensive. But that's okay. We've got 3 abilities on him. We've got a Chaos ability, which is the first Chaos ability to put power counters on Troublemakers, though we have seen a few that put them on friends. And, it's nice being adjustable. Though his Chaos ability is restricted to the characters or Troublemakers in the face-off, as opposed to your Princess Big Mac, who just puts them wherever he wants.
Right, or Brotherly Love, I believe.
Yeah, Brotherly Love also can go wherever you want. Prepared, so, if the opponent... it's clear he's supposed to work with Troublemaker face-off, so Prepared means if they start that Troublemaker face-off, bam, you've got an AT. And an ability we've not quite seen in this way before, immediate exhaust discard to an exhaust an opposing character involved in a face-off. Note, he does not need to be involved in the face-off. He does not need to be at the location of the face-off.
Nope.
So that's basically bailout on a stick, except tied to face-offs.
And you don't have to discard a card in the process.
Right, so it's actually apple juice break on a stick. That's the correct one.
Sure, there you go. That's a better one.
So this is a good combination of abilities. I mean, if you're running Troublemakers, these are abilities that you want in Troublemaker control, like all of this. So the question is, 4 cost. Is this worth 4 cost?
I mean, that's really the big thing we have to consider here. It's not like we haven't seen 4 cost friends see play before Thunderlane. But right, but that card has truly been meta defining. It had an entire deck that was effectively built around it and is a pack one, pick one limited bomb. If Thunderlane comes around, you're playing blue in draft no matter what. It's just happening.
Yeah, and
pretty much.
Even the decks that aren't built around him have started going, this card is strong enough that if I could feasibly put this card in, I will.
Sure.
So, yeah.
How does Mr. Stripes compare to
That's
Thunderlane?
a high bar.
Yeah. I mean, he does have a Chaos effect, which is nice.
He does have a Chaos effect, and it's a very good Chaos effect.
It is. Potentially. Well, it is mandatory.
It's 1 power.
It is mandatory, but very, very rarely would you not want to put a +1 power counter on a friend or Troublemaker.
Well, unless you have no friends involved
in yeah.
I mean, then you put it on the Troublemaker.
Unless you have no trouble.
I guess if it's a DFO, then you're in trouble.
Although I don't actually mind this Chaos being mandatory, because even if you are forced to put the power counter on a character or a Troublemaker or a friend or a Troublemaker that you don't want to, you're still flipping a 5. So you've still got a very high flip average.
So in that case, it's like you're flipping a 4 instead of a 5, because you get the -1. But normally it's like you're flipping a 6 instead of a 5.
Yeah.
Now, the color requirement's interesting here. It is lower than we've seen with several other cards before, but it is multicolor. However, 3 in orange and purple happens to be the magic number for everyone's favorite doctor.
Fancy
Dr.
that.
Horse?
Hoovesies?
Dr.
Horse is yellow.
Most everyone's favorite doctor.
Moving on.
Yes.
So being able to meet that color requirement means that you could potentially have a very interesting control deck going on here, and he does synergize with Doctor's ability to put him on top of the deck in the event that you get multiple copies of the card.
Mm-hmm.
This thing will snipe farming decks, though. It will happen. Whether it's Rainbow Dash and exhaust and they've lost 5, or AJ who's exhausted and now all her massive diligent doesn't matter, or even
Loses
a
a
Thunder Lane
million.
after it hits play. The key thing, right, exactly, it's huge. The fact that it's usable at immediate speed and not at the start of face-off means you can actually hold on to this until you're sure you have to use it.
Yep.
Yeah, this
And in
has...
the meantime, you've probably got that AT from that prepared.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully did. That does... Oh, that is mandatory.
It is mandatory.
Good luck remembering it, though.
Don't miss your triggers.
Don't miss your triggers, kids. Yeah, this has Troublemaker Control written all over it.
Yes. Yes. So, scores?
The cost is a little bit prohibitive for Troublemaker Control, but with Prepared there as a way of making up that AT gain, and in a color that is notorious for its AT
Factor
generation,
Factor Jack.
I think I'd be willing to bump this up from a 2.5 to a 3.
I'm pretty close to you. Like, I'm putting it at a 2.5, but a very optimistic 2.5. I'm willing to think that it might be a 3, but until I see him in action, 2.5 with hope for improvement.
Yeah, it's always going to depend on what decks we see it in.
And
there's potential here, but
I could actually see him being run as a one-of in a lot of Chaos Control decks. Because a lot of Chaos Control decks go, I just want this ability, but, only... I don't want to see it too frequently. I just want it and then use it with my hooves, and that's it. And 1's a good number for those.
That's a good point.
I don't know. I think this depends on how the meta is going to work out. This could... I don't think this qualifies for 4 territory if we see a Troublemaker Control deck that seems to shine in the new meta.
Not 4.
But I don't think it deserves quite as low as a 2.5. I think this is probably a 3.
Interesting.
I mean, that's fine.
It does depend on
fair.
which way the meta goes. To be fair, if the meta just turns like aggro low, then yeah, this is never going to see play.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So he's worth the abilities if you can afford the cost. The question is, can you afford the cost?
Yep.
Anyway, I think we can move on, right?
Yep.
Although in these colors, I'd certainly
sure.
hope so.
Fair.
And you do get the opportunity to read his flavor text in a Russian accent, which is always the best.
You will want to do as I say. Trust me. Well, no, hold on. This is not like proper like Russian because there's an it in there that doesn't belong.
Oh, there's
Trust
an is
me.
in there.
Yes.
Or yeah, there is an it. You're right.
Trust me, is good for you.
Your alternatives are not so good.
Anyway, moving on.
We got 9 more.
Let's do it.
Snow Dash.
Snow Dash. So, I think this
card.
is the Hearthwarming tail set.
Her hair looks weird.
Her hair does look weird.
I have no problem with this but I think this is the Hearthwarming
Actually,
tail
no,
set.
the weirdest thing about this is those little tiny holes in her like socks there.
Yeah.
For her fingers? Oh,
yes.
wait, what?
Oh, wait.
How did she get that part of her hoof worn? Why not the bottom, where she actually walks?
Maybe she turned them around.
She like tiptoeing everywhere?
tiptoeing.
No, she probably turned them around. I mean, pony hooves are so...
she could have worn them out and had to swap.
She
Yeah.
turned them around because she
There
couldn't
we
afford
go.
new
Okay.
ones.
There you go.
This makes so little sense.
So we're thinking that this is going to be a cycle.
Yeah, there's a cycle there.
Well, it was confirmed that all main 6 have a... that there's a cycle of the Hearthwarming tail main 6.
Oh, okay.
Now,
so, yeah,
that
we
might
already
be
know.
like the Equestrian Founders, where they are a cycle in name only, or it might be a cycle of 1/1 entry that's awesome.
We'll have to see. For now, we've got a very good aggro card here. The 1-for-1 with no requirement. While you have 3 or fewer cards in your hand, this card has +2 power. This
Blue
seems
doesn't
to
do
be-
that.
Blue, no.
Aggro decks
Never runs
run
out of cards.
No.
Well, this is actually interesting because one of the earlier blue spoilers that we saw actually also had a hand size matters element to it. So
Yes.
I'm thinking we might see some kind of a theme here, at the very least in blue, if not across multiple colors within this set.
Mini Hellbent.
Right, something along those lines. Keep your hand size low, maybe some kind of discard synergy. It really just depends on what we see coming forth here.
Oh,
But-
yeah, that's a good idea. Blue-orange, so you can do fun tricks, like bail out when you have 5 cards in hand. Now you only have 3, and Snow Dash just got bigger, and you exhausted a character on the opposing side.
Sure. It's also interesting that this is one of the first pieces of entry in terms of, a friend that has no color requirement that actually gets better in the mid game compared to the early game. Because as you play out more and more
That you don't
of your
have to
hand,
pay for.
Yeah, it was
right,
like
exactly.
it was like the
The
holes
growing
are
up
pretty-
cycle,
yeah,
right.
growing up, but
Yeah, that's fair. But this is one you don't have to pay anything extra for. When you
Yeah.
play it early, sure, it'll help you confront one of the one-for-one problems in Premiere, and that's fine if you're flipping in the off color. But when you're going into the mid game where you're just looking for value plays, now you've got 1 for 3, which we've actually only seen on one friend to this point without creating additional tokens. And this one doesn't cause you to lose the game when you flip it.
yeah.
Marble.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry. Second option.
I mean, Marble does have Wreck.
Marble
but
does have
And
that.
I think this definitely replaces some of the blue entry in Octavia Blue.
How would you
Yes.
use
Well,
it?
sure.
You've been
Hmm?
playing some. How would you use it, Cheese? You've been playing some Octavia Blue recently.
I just use it. Octavia, she's always running out of cards, and you always want 1-drops, and
Well-
you're always confronting against whatever the white or the either cloud bursting or the other one. So
Yeah,
this is a great card for Octavia Blue.
Octavia not only runs out of cards, she tends to play cards in bursts. So she'll
Yeah.
go from 6 cards to 2 cards in one turn because she wants to play as many friends as possible in a single turn.
That's true. So that's about all we can say as far as this card goes. Rating.
3.5.
I think 3 because, well,
Good entry is very important.
it is.
Um,
No,
Again, this is always hard at the beginning because it's like in high tier decks, so it's like, we have to think about new decks here.
Yeah, this might be 3.5. 3.5.
I may actually agree with you here as the 3/5. I was going to go with 3 at first, like Cheese, but you're right. In any deck that wants to be playing aggressive friends, I can't think of a reason you wouldn't want to run this card.
Yeah, and unless you were just not looking at blue at all, which happens.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, actually, assuming blue aggro is a thing, which it probably will be,
Never.
and
Nightglider is terrible.
then it probably is. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I expect to see good things from Snow Dash.
Yep, this is solid entry for your aggro deck. That's all there is.
And a
to it.
common.
Yeah,
Too.
common,
Very nice
yeah.
and
At
limited.
common, yes. Pick these up at the pre-release.
Yeah, limited.
I'll-
Yes.
I mean,
all
not that
over
you
this
really
card
have
in
a
limited.
choice
Yeah.
what you pick up at a pre-release, but
Yeah.
pretend you
You-
do, and then pick these up.
Let's see, and you may end up walking away with more than one of these in limited, just in general.
I would not
Yeah.
be surprised.
Next card,
Do it.
Starlight Glimmer, Taking Charge. Oh my God, that's
Oh,
a
boy.
cost.
Okay.
Did someone say Penny Lane? I heard
We
that.
still
I-
don't know what.
someone-
Oh, well, yes, but we
Yeah,
still don't know what she
so-
does.
We still don't know what Redeemed does. Disclaimer. This
Nah.
will affect our ability to talk about her. That being said, pretty much everyone's guess is somehow this reduces her cost because yikes.
Yeah. The thing with this, though, is the tense on the keyword is actually important here. It's not redeemed, it's redeem.
Right. It's a verb.
Yes, which implies that you can do something rather than it has a modifier.
Right. So we don't know what this will cost her. Yeah, we don't know what this will reduce her cost to, or how it will reduce her cost. But
If it does.
if it does, we're making assumptions. But if we can get this down to like a 5 or maybe even a 4, that would be great, because that's some card text.
That is some card text. The main problem I have with this is it says unique on it, because it'd just be funny to be like, look at all these
No.
starlights I have.
No, this is
So-
very bad.
So,
But I want to
okay,
Xerox it.
so I would like a ruling, Grandpas.
I will do my best.
Rec.
Okay,
This says without paying its cost.
that's correct. This does not use similar language that we've seen with other cards that have allowed you to ignore color requirement before, either due to their built-in wording or far more commonly to independent developer rulings on those cards.
Right, like Sapphire Shores.
Right, exactly.
She
This-
says free. This
She does
says
say-
without paying its cost.
Right, now there still is no definition of free, so we still do not have that universally accepted. We do have an individual ruling for Sapphire Shores that says it ignores color requirement. This one simply references cost. They have specifically made this as clear as possible that you are still going to need to meet the color requirement of whatever it is that you're playing. You just won't have to spend any action tokens for it. Additionally, and I would have to look into this, without paying its cost, I believe you may still have to pay additional costs, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that one will have to get kicked upstairs.
So that'll be a little interesting to watch.
Hopefully, we'll have a comp rules update with the that will clear this up for us.
Oh,
We're
I'm
gonna have
sure
a comp.
we will.
We're gonna have a comp rules update. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Oh boy.
Yes.
That's fine.
And in case people are wondering about Doctor Who's Unblinking, who is also very similar and also gets around rec, he just says, play it to your home frightened for free. So again, free as opposed to without paying its cost. Yeah.
Yep.
So
what are you gonna play for free, or what are you gonna play? I'm sorry, without paying its cost at the start of your turn, Bugle. I know what I'm gonna play.
I want to play a Penny Lane.
I know you want to play a Penny Lane.
How about a Flutter Guy while we're talking Nightmare? I mean,
Oh, cripes.
Element of Magic.
ooh, well, I mean, if I have to pay 8 for my Element of Magic, I've not done a good job.
I mean, sure. How about let's talk more realistic. What about that new Applejack that we just saw, or that we're about to see?
I mean, I don't know. Then you'd have to lose one of those two.
I mean, that's true, but it might be worth it. Or if you really want to gain AT and still play fair.
Stream went down?
That's
Or no,
right.
just my net. Just my net went down. Okay, never mind.
Oh, Twitch is
Proceed.
Twitch is being weird.
Yeah, Twitch is being weird. We're still here, folks.
We
We're still
assume we're
here.
still here.
If you can
people
hear
still
us,
hear
we're
us.
still here.
Cripes. This
Anyway.
one isn't even my fault. Come on.
Yeah.
Twitch,
So
you're killing me.
yeah.
How about the secret ultra rare Princess Twilight from Crystal Games, who has never ever seen play?
She does say when you play this card, not when she enters play, and this
Yes.
is playing. So
Yeah.
maybe you can recoup some of that 8 cost.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
this is
mean,
also for any of those
just-
cards that care about being played as opposed to entering play.
That's true.
So here's the combo. You just, play you play what's her name? Screwball, then you dip in the pool then you gain control of her back, then you dip in the pool her,
I've
and then you make
already-
infinite copies.
No.
You've already lost me.
no.
You've already lost me.
No.
No. So, can we really even provide a scale as to where this card falls on the scale without fully understanding what it does?
It depends on how well Redeem works. If Redeem can get her down to at least 4 cost, I think 5 is too much. If Redeem can get her down to at least 4, then I'm going to say she's probably a 3. Otherwise, I'm thinking 1.
Okay. If there's
I
a-
guess there's Reanimator. You could play
Redeeming
Redeeming Qualities, which,
mean-
is thematic.
assuming that if you could make a deck that works with this is going to be the card that the deck revolves around. So, and
True.
if that deck ends up being good, then this is high ranked. If no such deck comes into existence, then yeah, it's not that great.
Then you put this in EDH, and then you just play that.
Oh god.
Yeah. So very hot and cold card.
It's either going to be
but-
terrible or amazing.
yeah.
We can't tell.
It
Well-
will be fun to try to build decks around here, though.
One of us knows, but he isn't saying anything.
Chaotic Spark, it has been confirmed that this is not the start of the new block. DOE is part of block 2. This is the 4th set of block 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that we actually have an ultra rare, I'm going to take a moment and point out what I was talking about with the text box. So if you see here in the text box, you can see like her hooves here and a little bit of the background.
See-through.
Yeah, see-through. So this is why I was thinking that the other cards were not actually going to be ultra rares.
Bacon.
And- yes. So just a fun little bit of art trivia there.
There you go. It is a very pretty card.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
the stripe in her hair exactly matches the color of the sky in the background.
Yes,
it looks
it
like
does.
she's just missing a chunk of her hair.
Starlight, what's wrong with your head?
She just likes wearing her hair that way, her mane that way.
Indeed.
Anyway, yeah.
Next
so
card.
What we
Next
don't
card.
see in the distance is Chrysalis saying, "Nope, I don't like you.
Yep.
Buzz off."
Buzz off, which is exactly what she does.
Yes.
Okay, let's
Okay.
see. So into Rainbow Shine Gift Giver. We've obviously talked about this before, but we'll just go over this real quick, I think.
Yes. Some of you missed the CIM stream. You know, we want to at least talk about them.
Also, the audio was terrible. My fault.
And also, the audio was not amazing. So, this card is banned. Let's move on.
This card is
Okay.
Rainbow One. Yeah, best flavor text. It's a Rainbow Shine card. Hooray. Rarity and Fluttershy, Critter Recruiters. Another one that was spoiled at BabsCon.
This card is banned. Let's move on.
Nah.
This one is,
Isn't
this
everything with Fluttershy in the name banned?
No, there's only one card with Fluttershy in the name that's been banned. Fluttershy has otherwise seen no play. This doesn't cause your opponent to lose action.
Ouch! Oh, ouch!
It's let's be fair. This is yellow. You're never going to run this. Move on.
Yeah, certainly not in any kind of critter control deck that
No.
moves opposing characters when critters enter play.
Not at all.
No.
Nope. Okay,
Nope.
next card.
Changeling Mimics, Unreasonable Facsimiles.
Made by a jerk. Let's move on.
This
Yeah.
was made by a jerk. Look at that scowl on Pinky. Man, she's just not happy today.
Okay.
That just looks weird now that I look at
Chat
it.
chat says we've made our point. Let's go back.
Wait, what?
They want to see them
I
a
mean,
little more in depth.
Sure. We had
Okay,
one more,
fine.
but sure, fine. Okay, let's go back to Rainbow Shine.
All right, back to Rainbow Shine.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, that was forward.
What? This is Rainbow Shine.
Okay.
This is
there
Rainbow
we go.
Shine. Okay.
All right.
All right. So purple, pink, Rainbow Shine, obviously, and
Factory Jack.
yeah, if Factory Jack was interesting, this looks interesting too. Pay one less for your next event this turn, not to a minimum of one. Hooray! I can
Right.
think of all kinds of one-cost events that I'd like to play in purple and pink.
Some of them saw play in a purple and pink deck at BabsCon. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
It's pretty shameless.
Yeah. And like the immediate on here is great.
Uh,
'cause-
it seems like Enterplay is pushing pink purple to control yes chaotics.
like this wasn't immediate, it would actually be pretty useless. Like it's on your turn, but now we have so many other cards you want to play on your opponent's turn.
Napcakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
I mean, the comparison was made to Factory Jack, and this
Mhm.
card, strictly speaking, using its second ability alone, is worse than Factory Jack.
Yeah.
Because Factory Jack is just an AT.
Right.
However, since Purple Pink seems to really be going in the event direction, whether for control or for combo or whatever it happens to be, and the fact that this one also lets you draw a card no matter how the opponent starts a face-off, no matter where it is or what kind of face-off it is, you're also going to be filling your hand up. I like this.
Yes. I mean, she's good. She's very good.
My only complaint is that
She looks like a duck.
it's well, okay. So I have two complaints then. She does look like a duck. My second complaint then is it says when an opponent starts.
Oh,
Okay,
so you
yeah,
can't
I
just
would-
infinitely
Yeah.
draw cards
Yeah.
off
Boo-hoo,
the
Yeah.
show.
no
Yeah,
one pace.
yeah.
Boo-hoo. It's
All
not
right.
like the One Pace engine still exists or anything.
All right, next card.
All right,
Oh,
actually,
actually, hold on.
What?
Rating on this 3.
yeah, we'll call this a 3.
Yeah, solid 3.
Maybe.
Solid 3.
Now, there might be a deck that can really abuse this, in which case it's going to get bumped up to maybe a 4.
I don't think Factory Jack is solid 4 level, and
Okay.
she's no Factory Jack.
Okay, here's why this is better. When you're playing Nightmare, your opponent goes, "I've got Flutter Guys," and you're like, "Okay, guess what? I don't actually have an AT for you to steal here. Eat it." And then you free fight the Flutter Guy.
It's a valid point.
You do need 2 Rainbow Shines, but sure.
Sure. Okay.
So-
actually moving on now. Or
No.
Are you
fine,
sure?
fine.
I mean, we've only moved to that card 3 times now. But yes. Let's go to our other multicolor card. Well, a other multicolor card. We have lots of cards to get today. Yay, main 6 together.
Hey, it's
Rarity and
Mr.
Flutter
Stripes.
Shy.
The
What's
other,
this?
The
yes,
other
the
Mr.
other
Stripes.
Mr. Stripes.
Okay, yeah. Obviously, as we mentioned before, this goes directly into Zippo without stopping it go, without collecting $200. In fact, it collects several hundred critters in the process.
Some version of Zippo.
It goes on some versions. The current Zippo will does. Its policy on face-offs is you don't get to have them. There are never face-offs because your characters are always at home. This is obviously a more face-off controlled version of Zippo. I mean, perfectly fine.
Sure. It's a Zippo
But,
variant,
yes.
but this in Zippo.
Zippo wants to look at this and say, raccoons are kind of like kitties.
Close enough, right?
They're trash pandas.
Trash pandas.
Yeah, dual card type symbol there. That took a while to get fixed, but we got it.
Yay.
And speaking of moving characters away from problems,
Showy
won.
Yep.
So Zippo will look at this and make her decision.
So this is great this is great when it's a farming heavy meta, because you just park it out a problem, and you move it, your main moved away, and now you have to pay more to move it up. And other against aggro, not so much. I
mean, you get to move one extra thing.
And it is showy for all of them, but aggro likes to play cards and cheat around showy. And...
Scootaloo with all that.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I think it will depend on meta, but
it might shift back towards farming. We'll have to see. Farming certainly got a tool.
So, but yeah, 3 cost, 3 power. Zippo's all about those. Technically harder to play than Zippo because Zippo uses a purple main, but Zippo is still perfectly capable of playing white cards.
Yeah,
sure,
true.
I'm going to give this somewhere between. This will actually have a varied value for me between a 2 and a. It's going to sound weird, but maybe honestly a 4, depending on what the version of Zippo looks like.
Would you like to split the difference and say a 3?
I would not, because I don't think it's going to be a 3. I think it's either going to maybe be splashed in the current version of Zippo as a 1 or 2 of at the most, at which point it'll sit around a 2 to maybe a 2.5.
Fair.
Or I think there's going to be a version of Zippo that is going to focus heavily on allowing the opponent to start face-offs and punish them for doing so, at which point it will do this. In fact, one of the big advantages you might see, and I'm not saying the current version of Zippo would even consider doing this, but Heart's Desire is still a card, guys.
Heart's Desire is still a card. It is still my favorite ultra rare in the game.
It's a really good card. I like gaining extra action tokens. I also like letting my opponent do the work to let me gain extra action tokens.
2 bits gives you one extra action token. Heart's Desire gives you 2.
I mean, it's not
that's notable.
It's not like Zippo isn't sitting there running paper twice and drowning in AT anyway.
Well, Zippo kind of does have AT problems at the beginning.
Yeah.
But
getting started is hard.
Okay, yes, getting started is hard, but once you're online, you're just sitting there going, "Look at all these ATs."
Well, yes.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, but that's what happens with every control deck.
Yeah.
So
fair.
So for that reason, I'm either going to lowball it and say 2/5 if the deck doesn't change, or 4 if a version of the deck adapts to use this card. That's my thought.
Yeah, okay, that's correct. Because no other friend is going to look at this card.
No other deck.
No other deck. Zipperwill is going to look at this card and make her decision. and it will either be a 2 or a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm writing this down as a 2/2/5 unless Zippo accepts it, and then it's who knows.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
I think we're all broadly.
She's as
agreeing on that.
resident Zippo player here.
Yeah.
This depends. I agree with that. It depends on if it makes it or not.
Yeah. So Chaotic Spark says this would be an okay card if sideboards existed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Zippo would not even think twice. Like, oh,
Yep,
my opponent is
sideboard.
playing AJ? Okay. Have fun, AJ.
Go ahead and drop that into my
Next card.
next card.
That's hard.
Changeling mimics and reasonable facsimiles. Again, wait, didn't we already see this one? We've clearly got changelings.
There are no changelings on this
There are no
card.
changelings on this card.
I mean,
There
that's
are a
just
lot
the main
of-
six looking as
there
they normally do.
Are a
And
lot
no
of
spike.
very angry main six and some weird little like rock things on the table. No idea
Yeah.
what those are.
Why are there rocks on the table?
Those were the weird communicators that they never explained.
Yes.
Oh.
It's
okay.
magic.
They weren't communicators. They're just normal, ordinary rocks.
It's-
You know,
it's- yeah,
the
rocks.
main six are doing
Yep.
what they normally do.
3 power orange friend tokens, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened here is Twist opened the door.
Twisty scores pony.
So, I like that Spike gets, the most emphasis in this card. Like, her?
Oh, he's just kind of doing this little Trogdor thing there.
He's in this action pose.
Yeah, no, it's a little Trogdor.
Rainbow's got her "Are you a spy?" face on.
Spike door!
Rarity has her "I'm always with Applejack" face on.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, this is a card.
Is it? Tell us about this card.
This is my 2016 Continentals card that Cheese allowed me to design. Thank you, Cheese.
You're welcome.
And yeah, I was thinking, what do we need more of? We need more competitive, non-epic troublemakers. I mean, we have a couple. Starlight Glimmer is very good. Aramospi is very, very good. Yellow Parasprite still sees play every now and then, but overall, if people are playing troublemakers, they are playing epics, normally villains, because they're just so good. 1 AT, do a million things. And I wanted to fix that. And how do you make powerful cards? Well, you give people choices. Or in this case, you make a choice to deny a choice. Well, kind of. The original version did say you just can't play those cards. But
That was not-
+3 is still basically you
Pretty
can play
much.
that card.
Yeah. And it is important to note, as you've mentioned before, this does not tax your opponent for playing friends.
Yes. Friends are the most obvious way of interacting with troublemakers, and I wanted that option always. So, and main six beat up changelings. That's how things go.
Or sometimes they just get captured by changelings, and then it's up to Starlight and Trixie and Discord.
It happened off screen, so it didn't really happen.
Okay, sure. Like Celestia being captured didn't really happen.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't
off
happen.
screen.
The world
Yeah.
will never know our queen's true genius.
Yeah, but yes. Anyway, so this is very reminiscent of Harsh Judge, except instead of one card, you're choosing an entire class of cards, and you can change your mind. But on the other hand, if you make the wrong choice, this card's, they're just going to go, okay, you chose resources because you were fearing Tyrik's Reign of Terror. Well, I have Epic Win. Bam.
Yeah. Well, it's also this is also an optional trigger,
It is.
and
If you forget.
you're gonna forget this trigger a lot. Just saying.
Though in lower tier events, it is normally acceptable to say, until I say otherwise, it is always going to be troublemaker or whatever. Though in your tier 3 events, your opponent might call a judge, and the judge might side against you.
All right, let's focus on the card.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. So, events, resources, and troublemakers. These are all things that can deal with changeling mimics. So
Nice.
choose carefully.
Yep.
You can probably guess based off what your opponent's playing. If they're playing aggro, you probably don't need to choose troublemaker. If they're playing farming, you probably want to choose troublemaker.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm playing control, I'll probably do this. And you even mentioned that you might see aggro running a couple copies of this just to deal
I forgot
with
about
combo.
that. Yeah. Well, not just aggro to help deal with combo. Aggro might want to run this as an if you're not playing blue-white, because there are aggro decks that are not blue-white, you might want to run this as a fake the vote. You play it, then next turn you uncover it, and then on your opponent's turn, you say event, and then on that next turn, unless they have a lot of AT, they are not going to be disrupting you. Granted, it's not always easy, but...
Sure. It is interesting to note that because this is all one line of text, that means it is all a single ability and creates a single modifier. So even if they get rid of Changeling Mimics by paying 4 AT to play something like a Cracking the Case after you name events, doesn't stop their events from still costing 3 more until the start of their next turn.
Right. Yep. Yes. It is one ability. So like Camo Mod. Even if you turn Camo Mod off, that ability is still working as long as she is exhausted. Or what's another good example?
Coco Pamel. Yeah.
Yes,
so,
Coco Pamel. That's a very good one.
All right. So, next card or rating?
Rating, yes. I'm biased.
Yeah,
so.
you're biased.
This is a 12.
Ban it.
I'm not sure how high we're going to see this go. It really depends on whether or not the people who are running aggro are willing to make the adjustment to this, and whether or not the players running control are going to shift towards being more TM control based instead of just event control based. So I'll give it a tentative 3 for now and see where it goes from there.
I'm actually going to give this almost a 4, because if this hits the field and I have to work around this, I'm going to hate it.
That's a good point. If it finds, again, that's true. If it finds a home, it's going to do very well.
Yeah. The hope was to make it a troublemaker that you would look at and go, I want to build around this. White will probably really like this because not only do you have Harsh Judge to work with this, you have taxing effects, making them pay lots of AT to do even the minorest thing. Can you imagine this and then 3 stack of suitcases?
Gross.
Yes, I can, because I fully expect Skitter to do exactly that against me at some point in the future.
Can you imagine 2 of these?
Stop it!
All right.
You're giving me PTSD here.
Okay.
All right. So, let's move on.
Well, let's move on. Yes.
All right. Next up, Captain of the Seven Seas.
Yar har har.
Yes. A pirate joke.
Catajack.
Captain Applejack Harkness.
So,
Captain Applejack Sparrow. Whatever. There's a lot of Captain Jacks.
Can you say board wipe?
I can say board wipe.
Party of Applejack.
Party of Applejack.
So, another ultra rare. Cheese, what are we looking at?
A card now. 5 cost, 5 power, 3 rec. The 3 is nice. Play it off your main. Although if you're running orange, you're probably running AJ, whatever one. Ambassador.
Yeah.
I might be running Muffin Mare. Don't judge me. I like my own sticks.
Yeah. Okay. Or Muffin Mare. But yeah, play it off your main, which is good because you might not have any friends left. Well, or just this
You'll have one.
or one that's off color.
Well, might have more than one, as we're going to discuss briefly.
Yes, there are ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a pretty interesting card. The Diligent one is kind of like,
sure.
I don't know how much that's going to matter.
Just
It's
kind of tacked on there.
Yeah.
It's a cherry on the cupcake.
Yeah. It's like the Studious on TSUV.
Yes,
it's
she's
nice.
never going to be there.
It's nice, but it's not what you're playing the card for.
Nope.
So when this card enters play, each player chooses a friend, resource, and troublemaker they control and retire the rest. This means they will retire every card of each of those chosen types except the one card of each of those chosen types they chose. And Chaotix,
Yes.
to answer your question, troublemakers that are face down can only be referenced by cards that specifically reference face down troublemakers.
Right. So face down troublemakers, Applejack doesn't care.
Yeah. So the face down troublemakers will remain in play. That's fine.
One thing to note about this is since when you play this, you just had priority, so you choose your friend, resource, and troublemaker first, then the opponent chooses, but everything is retired at the same time. But you do make your decision before they do.
Correct. So this is a great way to reset the board, especially with a farming deck like AJ, Ambassador of Honesty, where you're just not playing as many friends or other cards apart from troublemakers as your opponent is, and you just kind of want to reset the board.
Yeah, you're only playing one friend and one resource and maybe 2 troublemakers. Fine. Okay, you might have 2 troublemakers.
Right. Well, true, but likely you'll just be queuing them up at one place.
Yeah,
that's true. But this is Applejack's answer to Zippo. Hi, Zippo.
Yes.
Eat away.
It's like, oh, you have friends? How about you have no friends?
You have no friends.
You have one Zippo. There you go. You can have
one
your
Zippo.
You can have your Zippo. Enjoy that.
And maybe an Aramaspi, I guess. Whatever.
Well, though keep in mind, Zippo does have persistent.
Furball. That's true. Now, the real tech that you start seeing with Applejack is when you start trying to, to cheat. She might be the Ambassador of Honesty, but that doesn't mean her card is necessarily playing fair. Turns out there's a fun little event that's basically never seen play from Equestrian Odysseys called Bats. And one of those modes of Bats is your friends can't lead play this turn.
Stop the Batajack. Stop the Batajack.
No, don't.
Make it go away and don't come back.
That has no flow.
Forced.
Yes, but stop the bats. That's going to be funny because it's, by the way, just, get rid of all your stuff. I'm going to keep all my stuff if that's, okay with you. And by the way, I don't really care if it's okay with you or not.
Well, I'm going to keep all my friends. Still have to get rid of my resources and still have to get rid of my troublemakers. But, I mean, So I could potentially see this working in an interesting manner. Bats is one of those odd color combinations that we haven't really seen a deck be able to use efficiently, despite the fact that Boots is the best ultra rare.
The best
Boots
royal rare,
is very
you mean?
good.
Boots, it's true. Boots is the best royal rare. I fully expect there to be a deck that works on orange and yellow when Defenders of Equestria comes out that tries to utilize this as kind of it's just, okay, you've gone far enough now. Let's get things back to my advantage. And I also fully expected to see play in orange farming decks that are tired of dealing with aggro.
And I half expect to see this in some orange-purple decks, just because this works off of a portal.
Also orange-pink.
Yeah.
Because of Party Hard. Oh, you're about to lose all your friends? How about you turn all those friends into card draw and opponent discards, and then you get rid of all your opponent's friends, too.
Yep, is good card. I'm gonna get. I don't think you can build an entire deck around this card.
Oh, I think you can build a deck around this card. I am giving this card a 5.
And this is a 4. I don't think this is a 5. I don't think you can push this all the way into 5.
I think you can.
Okay. I'm gonna go with 4 for now as well. I think this is just in a deck, and I think it is a key supporting card and one that you would be foolish not to run if it's synergizing with your deck strategy. Bugle apparently has machinations.
I've done crazy things. I've been building, like before I saw this card, I had been working on a deck to utilize Party Favor, Party Hard, and Party of 1. And now I don't need to splash the white. So,
there you go.
Like, I already have plans for her.
Okay.
No, that's fair enough. But yeah,
this
has got to be up there.
Yeah, it's going to be in a lot of decks.
And keep in mind, we are saying that despite this 5 cost.
Cost is not necessary. It's totally worth.
Yeah, she's going to eat your turn, but that turn will eat your opponent's next couple of turns.
Remember, it's only worth it if you type it in all chat.
Nice. Next
Plus,
card.
Every time you get to play this, you get to say that flavor text.
No, every time you say this, every time you play this, you get to go "Arr!"
Yeah,
and your opponent goes, "Ugh."
We sail to adventure, and your very doom.
Barry Doom? What?
Barry Doom.
Barry Doom.
All
New
right.
card?
New
That
card.
one's, oh my god.
New
that
cards. Okay, so we're done with the CIM cards.
All right.
But we
Mary
still have
Mare.
spoilers. Mary Mare. Yes, we have the other community spoilers, starting with Mary Mare, which was brought to us by
This was
Like a
Nate
Ditsy
Z?
Do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nate Z, yes.
Whose channel is Like a Ditsy Do, if I recall correctly?
I don't know if that's his channel, that's the show. I think his channel is just Nate Z or
Okay.
Nate Damn Z. We'll post a link somewhere. But yeah, as you might have been able to guess who the card was going to be based off of his show name.
I mean, maybe.
I do like the art.
It's adorable.
It is.
Derpy is best tree star.
Indeed.
So, are we all just going to sit here and
I mean, is there anything else to say?
reflect
Like
on the
it's-
glory?
No,
Yeah,
we're going to
it's
just look at this
amazing.
and be like, this card art,
Such card draw.
such much, yes,
Very giving.
very good.
Wow. I mean, it draws you cards in pink, and it's efficient.
Yeah,
and it's common.
this is actually
Yeah.
a pretty good counter to nap cakes because your opponent's like, hey, I don't like that thing there. Put that on top of your deck. Nope, I'll just draw that.
You mean like final?
Yeah. The immediate. Well,
I mean, this
the
is immediate. This is true. This is immediate, so you can go, no, I don't want you to nap cakes my Nightlighter away. Yeah.
Yeah. This is. I hadn't thought about that actually when I first saw this. So I was like, it draws a card, okay. But no.
It draws at immediate speed, and more than drawing at immediate speed, it exhausts to draw at immediate speed. This can very well serve as its own little mini blending in that if you want to play face-off chicken, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
I don't want to have
interesting.
a face-off here.
This is this card
'cause-
has a lot more utility than you might think just by looking at it at first.
Yeah, she's actually pretty good. Like I was telling Nate, he was talking about putting a hard hat on her because he didn't notice the immediate text. Which I mean, he was very excited to even just have a spoiler. And you should watch his reaction. It is great, everyone. You absolutely should watch this.
We have a link in chat
Yeah,
if you want.
Yeah, we do have a link in chat. And
Yep.
the fact that it's immediate means you can confront with her and then, like Grandpa's was saying, decide whether or not you want to have her be in the face-off. And even if you do have her in a problem face-off, you can exhaust her after the face-off is done.
Sure, I've already lost the face-off. I guess I'll just draw a card. Oh, I'm up by more than 3. I guess I'll draw a card.
Yeah. And we haven't even talked about her chaos. So,
Well,
Oh,
draw a card.
I mean, it's
that-
draw.
well, the interesting thing about this chaos is before very recently we could never have seen this kind of chaos because
Because you would have grabbed the flip
Yeah,
card. Yeah.
That's true. But now that we have a flip zone,
now that we have a flip zone, we can have you draw cards like this.
That might actually be a double-edged sword in a lot of cases. If you're running around with a purple-pink deck and you've done shenanigans to stack the top of your deck with this, I mean, with the scope things out, you can easily arrange this. But if you end up,
I mean, if you stacked your deck, you should know that she's on top. Like, I'm
you-
confused.
sure, but if you can only stack your deck too deep,
you're not sure
which
what you want
case
to
you-
draw.
you don't
Oh,
know what you're
okay.
going to be drawing.
Sure,
so
sure. Fair.
possible.
But
that
card
you
draw is always good.
Yeah.
card draw wins games.
Yeah.
She,
If this was just main phase at 3 cost, I would be like,
No.
no.
Yeah.
But the
ear
immediate.
to ear says hi.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this is mandatory. How many ways can we abuse this by putting this on top of our opponent's deck and then starting face-offs during their main phase
Oh,
to force
dear.
them to draw cards? And
I
get
believe
score
the answer
points
is
off of my
zero.
presence?
We
Unfortunately.
The answer
can't
is 0.
Do that, yeah.
No,
I mean,
Or ever, probably.
I mean, we can hasty retreat.
I'm sure we can find
yeah,
Oh,
some
you
hasty
mean
retreat has
if
been
our
eroded.
opponent happens to be running? Oh, you mean how it
No,
has
if-
to be worded?
Yeah, if they're running it.
Oh, if they're running it.
Yeah,
if
no.
they're, you know.
definitely
Yeah.
build a combo around this because this card's definitely going to see play in every single deck.
No.
So let's talk limited here for a second. I
Yes.
really like this card.
Yeah, no, it's
You're going to
great.
run, especially in a set where you might see cards that are relying on you having cards
This
in
is
your
a
hand.
common.
Mm-hmm.
We saw another really good pink common earlier as well. That mind controls. Now you've got pink that draws a card and exhausts to draw a card. And man, it's like mono pink's going to be good or something.
What?
I do think so. I'm going to call this at 2.
I think it's a 2.5.
I'm going to go with 2.5 as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you have this in limited, you're ahead.
Oh no, this is a great body in limited.
Yeah.
In constructed, I'll agree with you. I don't know how much you're actually going to see it, but
Yeah, no, that's why the 2.
There are decks that will run this in constructed. I think this is a 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, there are decks that will go. I need card draw. How can I get some? I'll look at this card.
I'm already running vinyl, and I need to draw
or
more
I could
cards.
just pay 3 to if you're just using this for card draw and not for any of the other effects, then it's like
Well, no,
you
you're
draw
not.
4
That's
cards.
the thing. She's flexible.
But, yeah.
She's a 3-power friend that also draws you cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Next one.
So fun card.
Next card. Captain Was.
Captain Was what?
Captain Was another good white entry friend.
Who's on first?
Captain wasn't very fuzzy, was he?
Oh my god.
Okay.
We're just gonna go down this road for a little bit here.
Okay.
Go get yourselves a sandwich.
Does. Yay!
And more specifically, we got the text updated correctly, so it does not say +1 power for each card with the same name in your discard pile, which it did for a very long time until Richard caught that. Thank you, Richard.
Oh, yes, thank you, Richard. Oh yeah, yes. This spoiler comes to you courtesy of the MLPCCG wiki.
Richard O. So thank you, Richard.
Yes.
Check him out. Check out the wiki.
Check out the wiki. You will find stuff about cards there. Like it's a wiki.
There he is.
Hey.
Nice.
Thank you for fixing experience. We all would have missed it.
So not only do we now know what experience is, but this is also the first promo we know about for the set.
Oh, it is the promo image.
Yeah, you will not be opening this art at the pre-release.
Or maybe you will be handed one of these.
Yeah,
at
so
the
we don't
pre-release.
know what the rarity is for this.
Actually, I believe we do. It's on the wiki.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, he was told.
The rarity's promo.
Do you happen to know off the top of your head, Grandpa's?
What the rarity of this is?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, I can't say I do. I could find it in a moment.
I'll look it up while you guys talk about this interesting card.
And name is just Discord, right?
Oh,
or is it the full
no.
thing?
It says it's a common.
Title is Discord.
Yeah.
Title's Discord.
Title's Discord, subtitle is Captain Was.
Richard says common, so...
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Common entry, so good.
Yes.
White.
Well, white always has the best entry. I think that's one of the things it's supposed to be good at. Just
this is like
entry.
I forget why. I remember recently we were looking for all the cards that would be able to get you troublemakers from your discard pile back.
I can't remember why, but we were
always be comboing.
Well, sure.
Oh well.
But yeah,
maybe
so,
I don't know. But yeah, but no, this is actually great for that.
So yeah,
it's like a 2AT tutor.
Well, a discard tutor.
Discard.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is
recursion, yeah.
This is another one of those lovely cards. It's like, great, I'm going to put a friend out there. It moves home. I've got better things now. I'm over my home limit. I'm just going to go ahead and retire this to get something out of my discard. Why not?
Right, and then you play another one who's now 3 power for 2 cost.
Yeah.
And then you play another one after you retire your second one, who is now 4 power for 2 cost.
And then you dip in the pool of that and retire the first one, and
yeah. Well, yes. So dip in the pool does work. Queen Chrysalis Identity Theft does not, because she looks for her own name.
Sad.
But it does work if you have another Identity Theft in the discard. She will be a 4 power Identity Theft.
Okay. So we know that you can potentially get a little bit of extra power out of experience if you need to. But what about the other ability?
Troublemakers are fine. I mean...
So this, again, kind of seems like it might work well with the Rarity and Fluttershy in that it has control-type elements to it that seem to focus around troublemaker strategies rather than just event-based strategies.
Mm-hmm.
your opponent's gotten rid of your troublemaker somehow, they epic wind, or they beat it before you were properly set up. Well, whatever, just get this back once you have your white friends already on the field. You're not going to need that much entry. And then if you do happen to draw into another discord, you've at least got a power efficient friend.
Yeah.
And they are in fact only 2 white rec, so there you go.
I mean, I like the synergy.
Yeah. And don't count this guy out for aggro as well. Because again, he gets more power efficient the more of them you draw. And if they're at home doing nothing, like you can still retire them to
For not
for
a
nothing,
troublemaker, yeah.
just to make the one that you're about to play bigger.
Sure.
Yeah, like this might you always have in white if white's your off color, you always have like what's the 2/2 entry I'm going to use.
Right.
I think this would actually make a good one.
Yeah, he's a very good one. I mean, I still like Dance Fever a lot. If you have songs, you should probably be running Dance Fever. What's her name? Prim Hemline is good if you don't need them to confront problems. There's a lot.
It's good aggro card. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, white has how much 2/0x entry now? A lot.
Wow.
A lot.
Yeah.
A
How
lot?
much does it have? It has yes.
Yes.
It does have yes.
Yes.
You will not be for want of good white entry.
No.
I remember back in the day when we were in diamonds. It's like,
Um,
oh no, I have to run.
I have to run featherweight,
Featherweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we didn't like running it either, except we had to because it needed to be a Pegasus.
Yes.
Chaotix, it becomes a Prim Hemline without the downside.
Without the downside. Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, this. Again, I'm going to put this at a 3.5 because this is very good entry.
Ooh. I'm going to go with 3. I don't think this is going to be as high as like the Rainbow Dash, Snow Dash that we saw earlier, because Snow Dash functions almost entirely on her own and you just normally playing the deck, whereas Discord is only going to be over efficient if you've already gone through multiple other copies. It requires more setup.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just one other copy, but
Sure, one other copy to get him up to 3 power, but
That's 1 out of 44 other cards.
yeah. So I'm going to put him at a 3. I think he's definitely one of the better pieces of white entry we've seen so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Though he isn't an Earth Pony.
That's true. He's not an
No.
Earth Pony.
I'm
But
going
he
to call
does give-
this a 2.5. I don't quite.
He
think
is an
this-
elf, though.
He is. Well, he is a dirty elf. You're right. Ugh. Okay, fine. 0.
Hey,
Stupid elves.
hey, we do get extra flips off of Beauty and the Beast with him.
That
We
is
do
true.
get extra flips off of Beauty and the Beast. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. This is
Yellow
somewhere
white
between a two-
farming. Yellow white farming.
No.
I heard yellow white farming.
No.
We'll see.
No.
We'll see.
All right.
Yeah, somewhere between a 2 and a
Plus that flavor text, yo.
Yeah. I will, however, note that this is not a particularly good card in limited because it is unlikely you will be able to get multiple of these. On the other
I mean,
hand, if you
I mean,
do
He's
get
still
multiple,
entry.
Yeah.
On the other
like,
hand-
any entry card is good and limited.
there's so much entry at this point. That's less of a concern for me now. However, the other side of limited is you are not restricted to 3 copies of this, where this could get really stupid if you manage to get a lot of them.
I'm just running 45 Discord Captain Luggers.
Play
That
one
would be
confront.
amazing.
It's going to be 30. 30 cards.
30 cards. No.
You can run
No,
more than
I
30.
mean,
52.
Okay.
Yeah.
52?
No, I thought 53 was the number. You should have
isn't
in
it
the deck.
48?
You're going
Because-
to play. Yes, it's normally supposed to be 48, but then I'm going to have some severe questions about your card pool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway, we
Anyway.
have one last card to go over. Plus, we want to talk about Zephyr again, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Now that we know what Experienced does.
All
So,
Yeah.
Next card. Wonderbolt's
Yeah.
Runway.
life is a runway.
Hush.
Yeah. So this is a 1 cost, 2 blue rec, 4 power,
Well,
and most
Hold on,
importantly,
hold on. Before we get to that, this is a another
Yeah.
create a card. This
This
is
is
Johnny's create a card.
Johnny, assistant troll in training.
Yes, also known as air quotes from Team Pandemonium. And yeah, he submitted quite a few cards, but this is the one that made it.
Indeed.
For some strange reason.
So, play this to your home. The start of the turn, put a training counter on this card. When you put a training counter on this card, if there are 5 or more training counters on this card, retire it. When this card leaves play, for each training counter on it, put a 1 power Pegasus friend token with Swift into play. So,
Okay, now first off, let's just say that you saw the word counter and you freaked out because, oh my god, counters are terrible. No, this is a little bit different.
You will always get something unless it has 0 counters. Or trash happens.
Or trash happens, yes.
Cheese, go ahead.
oh yeah, no, I was gonna cover that. Like, when I first saw this, I was like, no. But then looking at it more, it's like, yeah, no, it's as long as it survives more than 1 turn, it's efficient, and it can get pretty good if it gets all the way to 5.
Yeah, it does
And
something.
it's the first resource to combo with ultra rare Celestia main.
What does she even do?
She retires resources.
Oh,
But we don't want to retire resources, except for this one.
yeah.
Oh, that's precious.
I know at least one person out there is very happy about that. Aren't you, Cursed? Aren't you? But yes, Pegasus tokens. And you can put them into play wherever you want, whenever this leaves play, for however this leaves play. If your opponent plays Catajack, you get some Pegasi. If you Bewitched Beavers your own Wonderbolt's Runway,
Sure.
you get Pegasi. Actually, can you Bewitch Beavers? Or is it opponents only?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can happen with this. And there's 2 main uses that I see for this immediately. The first one is, okay, so you can Bewitch Beavers it, thank you. The first one I see is, hey, this can potentially create a lot of bodies. Who synergizes with a lot of bodies entering play? Octavia.
Octavia.
Cheer up now, don't look so glum.
Hey, it's even in the right colors.
It is even in the right colors for that. Run this in Octavia, drop it early on in the game, just wait for your opponent to sit there and try to panic to get rid of this before it gets out of control. At the very least, you're fishing for resource removal with this, which is good. I like having targets that do that. And the second one is this guy that I played a little bit called Soren Pie Powered. He likes bodies. He eats
likes
ponies.
pies.
He does like pies.
He doesn't eat ponies. He just
does.
commissions them to make pies for him.
So let's go to Maxim here. You put 5 of them into play, boost something up by 10 power, then eat them all with Soren to get another 10 power.
Sure.
And you did that for 1 AT.
And
20
then,
power for 1 AT and 5 turns of waiting.
and then it gets food fight.
Well, of course it does.
But hey, you baited the food fight. So.
Right. That's all to bait the food fight. You got to think 5 turns in advance.
Yeah.
So I think there's currently no way to get more than 5 counters on this because it
Yeah,
triggers
can't
off of
gain-
the placing of a trainee counter. So even if you finger snap,
So that's not
Yeah.
necessarily true. There are ways to get more than 5 counters on this. It requires quite a bit of setup. You need to trash your own resource once it has at
And
least
then-
1 counter on it, and then proceed to finger snap over and over again until
Okay.
it gets over 5. And then you can remove trash.
Yes.
combos, 6 tracks.
I mean, it has the same cost requirement and power as trashed,
Yeah.
which means for all you people who can't find your Equestrian Odyssey's copy of trash, this is a great proxy for testing.
Nice.
Yes, use those rares to proxy those commons.
Yeah.
I have done that before, I'm not gonna lie.
You know what's real sad? When you
What's real
use
sad?
ultra rares to proxy commons.
Did someone say opulence format?
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, rating?
Rate this card. Rate this card. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
5. Dang it!
0.
We were all thinking it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for actual rating, I think 3.
It's
3,
okay.
5.
This is a 3.
I'm gonna run a lot of this in Octavia Blue.
Yeah, Octavia. Okay, Octavia Blue has convinced me that this is a 3. Otherwise, it's a fun card, but
No,
outside of Octavia, I don't know that this is all that great of a
very
card.
squarely fits into the criteria for a 3.
Yeah.
There are certain aggro configurations that are just going to be like, yes, I am okay with this. And there's also a ton of blue aggro that's just going to look at this and be like, and move on.
Yep. Goes in some decks, not in others. Seems like a good 3 to me.
Also, we have that random, what is that, the Make-A-Wish OC there?
Yes.
The
No.
red one? Or
Yeah.
No, yeah. Very red.
where's
Okay.
the black? It needs to be red and black.
No, that's only for Alicorn, silly.
It's not, it's
Oh,
not an
yeah.
Alicorn.
It's just
Anyway.
Pegasus.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's our 10 cards, though.
We have,
Zephyr?
now that
Zephyr?
we know what experience does,
Yes.
let's take another look at Zephyr. Whoops. Oh, great, now I get to go. This is cute.
Find the image?
No, I actually have the image, hold on a minute. I have to beat on something. Technical difficulties.
Where's the derpy image?
So we know what Zephyr does.
No, not that derpy image. Okay, so while you're bringing up that card image, yes, we do know what Zephyr does. He's a 2/3/4 in yellow that is 2 cost, 3 requirement, 4 power with experience. That says when this card would be moved or sent home from a problem, retire it. So before we knew he was before we knew he was cost efficient and gave you a lot of power. Now we know he gets even more cost efficient
There we
as he ends up being retired.
Yeah. Anyone say 6 power for 2 cost?
I'll say that.
I mean, Spitfire is 6 power for 3 cost. So,
This is pretty good.
that's a lot of power.
I've been toying around, as I mentioned before, with a Muffin Mare orange-yellow deck, a yellow elves that shifts power around. And one of the big things that you want is cheap friends who give you a lot of power and maybe have a downside. Okay, cool. So you play Zephyr to problems, and then one of them gets retired, and then you play another Zephyr, and maybe that one gets retired. And then you play your last one and just let it sit at home and exhaust it to give 6 power to something else.
That's a lot of power.
It is a lot of power. Plus, it's within the color combination of the Catajack that we saw earlier and Bats.
Matajack.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
I fully expect someone to try something with yellow-orange.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see.
I mean, I liked Zephyr before. Like, before knowing what Experience did, I liked Zephyr.
Did you like him? Did you like him before he was cool?
Yeah.
Calm down,
No, he's still got a very punchable face.
Yeah. Okay. As a friend card in the game, I always liked Zephyr.
Also, poor Fluttershy just completely getting obscured by the card art there.
This is obviously not the... Well, this could be... Okay, so now that we know what Experience does, what was the rule about super rares and ultra rares not having reminder text?
So because this is and I pointed this out earlier, you can see that the card doesn't have the trademark information, it doesn't have the number. This is not final art.
Okay.
And as a result, this doesn't
this is not
surprise
final
me.
art.
Okay. So, I mean, it's a good card.
Yeah,
I like this. And even outside of orange, you want something to help bring yellow up a bit?
I mean, I've been trying to push yellow aggro again.
Within like the last 3 days.
I had that tricolor aggro deck for a while, and I made the blue-yellow deck ages ago. It didn't work, but I tried it. But yes. I am a big supporter of yellow aggro. This is a yellow aggro card. Yes, he has a downside, but it's a downside you probably don't care about because he powers him up.
It's a good card.
I really do like this card. You can't go wrong with 2 cost, 6 power. You just can't. Now, if it was 6 cost 2 power, I would question your choice.
Yeah, but we have 8 cost 5 power, and that's probably going to see play.
Well, hey, 6 cost 2 power, what does it do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
point.
trespass again.
It's just vanilla.
Ah! Trolled.
It's Berry Dreams. I'm sorry. What was the... Not Berry Dreams? What was the one from earlier?
Jewel Joy?
No, the berry we mentioned earlier.
Presspass?
Fluttershy?
No, I'll
No,
find
it
it.
was.
Rainbow Dash?
It was the OC.
Yeah.
Oh, her.
Yeah, her.
Twist?
Whatever.
Okay. Twist, sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
So no,
that-
Chaotix. That's 1 cost.
Christ.
Go read
Yes.
the Gyro and Berry Dreams.
Oh my god.
So I believe that catches us up with all the spoilers we've seen so far, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
thus far.
So we learned what one keyword means. We don't know what the other one means, but at least we've seen it on a card now.
We rampantly speculated.
Yep.
We have some ultra rares now.
We do
No
have some ultra
super
rares.
rares,
So shiny.
to our knowledge.
Right.
We do have some that we don't know the rarity of.
Yes, we still don't have rarities for any of the first 15 or so cards, I think.
A bunch.
Or numbers, actually. Very annoying.
I think
Yeah.
we're missing a few. We'll get them in time.
We will get them. Their
And-
time is coming soon, as the princesses would say.
Yes. Now, until Defenders of Equestria does release, which should be here next month, sometime towards the middle to end of the month, I believe, according to their current schedule.
The current date that we've seen is the 18th, which is a Thursday, so take that with a small grain of salt.
Yep.
Well,
So
that's what
sometime-
basically everything says. Who knows?
So sometime around then, we'll see Defenders of Equestria released. In the meantime, what else do we have for card games?
Let's see. Well, actually, before we go too far here, we do know that another stream, Meticulous Talks, hosted by Cursed Chords, I believe.
Cursed Chords and Solving Problems.
Solving Problems, has a spoiler that they will be releasing at some point here. So if you haven't checked them out, here is a link to their Twitch channel. They normally broadcast Sundays, I think.
Sundays at 9 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
Hey, Cursed, there he is.
Yes. I believe we also know that Critical Thought is going to have a spoiler at some point.
I believe that's what I saw him say earlier this week.
Yeah. So
And it is
that's on
entirely-
his Tumblr.
Yep. And it is entirely possible that there are more community spoilers out there lurking.
Yes.
Okay, so
Though
Cursed
not
Chords.
Pirate Dash.
Right. So Meticulous Talks is going to be on April 30th, it looks like. So 1 week from
Okay.
today.
Yes.
So make sure you follow these people. The community here is awesome. I love everything that all these content creators
yeah.
put out. It's good stuff.
Yes. It's very good. Very, 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 very,
Very good.
very good.
Is good.
Yes, as Plaid Stripes would not say.
You should maybe watch his stream. Alternative is not so good.
Also good.
Oh, wait,
the
crap.
alternative?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, crap.
Alternative stream is.
Okay, to be fair, we're biased. Although yeah, self-deprecation is funny.
Of course
Okay.
it is.
But yes,
So apart from the
Mhm.
future community spoilers, and of course wonderful spoilers from Best Princess, we have some additional news for those of you who like conventions. Did somebody say conventions?
Somebody did say conventions.
Todd Chaser likes conventions.
Did someone say Game State? I heard Game State.
Who said Game State?
Game State.
So yes,
Okay,
conventions.
for those
There
of
are
you
them.
not in the know, Grandpa's has been going mildly ballistic over Game State related rulings, and get him
I will-
drunk and ask him about it. It's a story.
I'm less ballistic now. We'll cover it in a future stream. So,
Anyway.
oh good, Atomic Equinox, you like conventions. Well, then you're going to want to get up to Seattle Why does he want to get up to Seattle, RK?
I don't know. The rain? The gray overcast? No, actually, because we have the Seattle My Little Pony Convention Everfree Northwest going from May 12th through 14th. There's going to be a lot of CCG stuff going on there. The schedule for Everfree was actually just posted yesterday, I believe. So if you have the ability to make it... Oh, yes, coffee, of course. You make it up here for the coffee. Visit Starbucks. Buy our toys!
Buy our products and toys.
No, actually, if you're going to come up here for the coffee, go to a nice local roaster.
There you go.
Anyway, lots of
while
stuff
you're
going...
up here for the coffee,
Yes.
stop by Everfree.
Stop by Everfree. Lots of CCG stuff. A good chunk of Commentary is Magic is going to be up here. We're going to be doing live streams if you can't make it.
The live streams will hopefully work slightly
Better than Babs, yes.
Yeah.
We have... It was a learning experience at Babs. We will do better.
We have learned, and now we are experienced. So with those versions of us that are in the discard pile, we now have more power at Everfree.
Yeah, and unlike Zephyr, we are not quitters.
I mean, not yet.
Not yet.
We're going to keep trying.
We're going to keep trying on quitting.
We will succeed at quitting sooner or later.
They will be audible.
Probably.
Yes.
Probably.
We hope that we don't have hilarious audio issues this time. But anyway. So here's a link to the event schedule. The CCG events are on there. Expect a Reddit post in the next couple of days giving... Oh, ouch. Oh, that's mean, chat. That's mean. Giving further details on Everfree's events.
Yeah.
You can, of course, find that event post on the subreddit, and it will also be posted on the Facebook group Hey Canterlot. But speaking of Facebook, if you are a Facebook user, like some of us are,
nope.
Commentary is
like
Magic,
you.
like me, some of us as a community, speaking collectively,
Okay.
you will want to follow Commentary is Magic on Facebook. We have our own page now. It's, as you might expect, facebook.com/Commentary is Magic. Very easy to remember, much easier than our YouTube channel.
There are rainbow shines.
There are rainbow shines. There will be additional rainbow shines in the future. Please feel free to like us on there. Of course, if you have any feedback or are just trying to get in contact with us to share your thoughts on cards, which we would love to hear, please feel free to share your thoughts on cards, spoilers, streams, the audio quality of our various conventions, whatever it may be. CommentaryIsMagicTeam@gmail.com. Occasionally, we like to reward people who send us feedback with a little something through the mail, so it's always good to do that. And if you do like the content that we produce here, we do ask that you consider supporting us through the link below. We do have to incur some costs for data usage when we go to various conventions, and so anything that you feel like giving is very helpful and helps us to be able to continue to produce awesome events like BabsCon and Everfree and Pacific PonyCon and future events.
Yes. We do love doing this, but every bit does help. Like Fluttershy says.
She's sitting there trying to extort you. Look how cute she is. You should give her a bit.
You should give her a bit. So can anyone think of any other announcements we would like to make this evening? Oh, I know. Bugle, I believe that you had plans for another live stream sometime here in the relatively near future.
Do I?
Well, we all did. Sometime after Everfree.
Oh, right. That one. Yes, we want... So, Marks in Time came out a long time ago. You probably don't remember it. You know, I think it was back in...
I probably never heard of it.
22, 1822. But yes, so Marks in Time, and we have seen a flurry of competitive decks since then. I mean, lots and lots and lots of them, of all sorts. And I think it might be fun to go over some of them. Or if we are really insane, go over all of them.
It's been a busy year.
It's almost been a year, and BabsCon showed us that there are still people coming up with new creative decks.
Yeah, we saw a
Like-
new pile build.
Very few of the top 8 were archetypes that we've seen before.
And even those that were somewhat familiar were variants on what we had seen.
Yeah. Like
And I would
Scootaloo
expect-
aggro with purple?
In my game, it's more likely than you think.
Yeah.
So, if
mhm.
you're interested in following the progression of the Marks in Time metagame over the last year or so, you'll definitely want to make sure that you stay tuned in to Commentary is Magic on our Facebook, on our Twitter, which I believe we'll have up relatively soon.
Yes, we don't have the Twitter yet, but we will. In the meantime, you can still use mine, I guess.
Email through here, and we will provide announcements of the dates and times for that.
Oh,
and who knows?
And
maybe
Reddit.
some-
Don't
and-
forget Reddit.
And Reddit, of course. And maybe some community guests. We'll see.
Yeah, I believe. I mean, we've got our hands full with Everfree right now, and there is a pre-release at some point. We hope, right?
We hope.
Yes.
So it will probably be sometime after Everfree, but we are planning it, and it should be fun.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Oh yes, I have an announcement. Our queen is best queen.
This is
Yes,
true.
Thorax is best queen.
Nope, traitor to the hive.
Oh,
I'm gonna do this every time.
I'm
I
aware
know.
you are.
I know
You
are.
can continue to be wrong.
Well, again, everyone, thank you for. Chaotix was asking if
Yeah.
there is going to be a pre-release at your store, Bugle.
Hopefully, I mean, no one knows anything about pre-releases yet.
Yep. I would imagine dates will go out sometime within the next few weeks.
Yeah, that sounds
One would certainly. hope.
likely.
Yep. Until then, we are glad to continue to do these spoiler streams, and we'll probably do one again as soon as we get another 3 spoilers.
That sounds like it's gonna happen this week. I mean, just from the community spoilers alone.
I mean,
Yeah.
it very well might.
So yeah.
I
Yeah,
think that'll about wrap us up for this evening then.
I think 10 cards is enough.
10 plus revisiting an 11th.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Again, feel free to follow us and share your thoughts. We greatly want to hear what you have to say. But until next time, I am, as always, Grand Pulse.
Emperor Bugle.
Big cheese.
And the now less angry Aracat.
We'll see you all soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.